welcome to the podcast, everyone. We are Dev Crusade, and we have brought to you this podcast, Campus Placements, fueling your placement aspirations with expert insights. Right. So, we are going to discuss about upcoming placement season, like how is the market scenario and how it has impacted the whole placement and hiring, all that things, full-time hiring and all. So, we will look into it, right? At the start, let's look a little bit about Dev Crusade. So this is a community which started back in the month of February in last year actually, and now we have grown more than 600 plus people who are learning on our platform. And recently we have launched a website also. Anup will drop the link of our website in the chat box. Right. The tagline of our community is a community promoting self-study, which gives software engineers a roadmap to achieve expertise in their interested domain through collaborative learning. Right. We have this community where we are supporting the people who want to achieve expertise in certain skill sets, which can be DSA, full stack, and many other stuff. Right. So, uh, as we said that this is our podcast, so we have our guest Kartik Yeole, and he is currently cloud and data engineer at Infocepts. So he is working on the real world side of the whole data thing and AWS thing. So we are going to have discussion with him today. So welcome Kartik into this podcast of ours, and thank you for joining this podcast.
Hi, Himanshu. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
And thanks a lot, Himanshu, to you for creating this such a great platform in which we can have all the communities together to have the knowledge sharing from the industry side to the campus side. And I think it will be a great podcast. So let's begin.
Yeah, sure. So let's begin with our podcast. So we are having a set of questions which we received from you guys, and some questions which are very common in today's world. Like people are asking some common doubts. So like we are going to focus on those doubts as well. So let's start with the first question. There is one question that currently we are having recession in the whole like we can see in this scenario. So lot of full-time jobs are being affected because of this. So Karthik, can you please elaborate on this particular thing, that how recession is actually affecting the full-time hiring and what can we do to make ourselves efficient in this particular scenario?
Okay. See, the picture is clear here. Okay, big tech companies are doing layoffs, and it's nothing like we know it. There is no hiding it now, right? So, why it is happening? Because the big tech companies are not ready to invest in freshers right now because the lack of investment, lack of revenue. Also, the big tech companies are reliable on other companies so that they'll hire this company to do their job and they'll get revenue, and then this revenue is being invested into the freshers for joining them. But currently, because of this recession and high inflation, we all know that many of them lost their jobs. Also, the freshers are not getting onboarded. Even they are selected in companies like I would not take the names, but they are not getting joining. So it's a big issue right now. But you can adapt to it and make yourself more competent in this current situation by learning new tools, having practical knowledge, and doing something uh, that others are not doing, right? So this is in this podcast I'll elaborate more on these points. So the market situation currently is very competitive because many people are switching their jobs. Also, companies are not hiring enough. So this is affecting the campus right now. So we will look into it, what can be done, and how can you improve yourself. Okay.
Yeah, right. So we have included all of those questions in this particular podcast, which are directly going to focus on how you can improve yourself and make yourself efficient and competent for the full-time hiring. Right. So let's move to the next question. Uh, just give me a minute, guys. Okay. So next question is, what are different rounds typically involved in on-campus placements? And can you please elaborate about them, Karthik?
Yeah. So on-campus placements, it depends on company to company. Okay, so some company might have 5 rounds, some company might have 2 rounds, and some company might have 3 or 4. Depends like which role are they hiring for. Okay, let's take an example of Global Logic. Okay, say though those guys when they came for our placement hiring, those they had 5 rounds. So first was our general aptitude and technical round, which was on Hacker platform. Later, they took a level one technical, then group discussion, then manager round, and then HR round. So, and if you take example of my company, Infocepts, they took only 3 rounds. So one was your aptitude and behavior, second was technical, and third was a manager. So it really depends. And most common thing you will get to know is aptitude, coding, and their HR interview or technical interview. So that those are the common rounds that you will be facing in your campus placements.
All right. So, like there are a few guys, like there are a couple of guys, or there is one common question that what is exact difference between managerial round and HR round? So, if you can elaborate on that.
Okay. See, the basic difference. HR round is basically which what type of person you are, what are your likings, what are your hobbies, just to get you know more personally rather than the technical knowledge. What are your skills? Like what do you like to do in your free time? That is the HR side of things. Okay, so it's if you go to HR round, it's 90% sure that you are selected. They just want to see how what type of thinking, what type do you think, right? Or uh, what are your other skills than coding or like the technical skills? Just get to know as a person. But manager round is a special round because when you get placed into a company, you will be working under a manager. Okay, so they see if this person can solve a problem. They have the developer mindset, what we call it in the industry. It's called developer mindset to think upon a problem, come up with a solution, and if you present a solution to a manager and he says no, this can be improved, so you can break that solution and come up with again a different solution which is more optimized. Okay, so this is the main difference between manager round and HR round. Manager checks that you are if you are good enough to do a work which is given to you in a specific amount of time. So they will give you trick questions like puzzles. If you go on internet and search for the manager round interviews or the puzzles that they ask, that those things are being asked in the manager round, and the HR is the simple how to get to know a person. Just that's the main difference.
All right. So, managerial, if we summarize, then managerial round is little bit technical side, but it also has some HR sort of questions, and HR is purely completely HR things, right?
Yes, manager also sees how you're approaching the solution.
Hmm.
What is your mindset? So we have to take care of that. We cannot give a solution that is brute forced, or we have to come up with creative things. So that's the main difference. Technical is purely technical. They will ask you about what is DBMS, what are the concepts of hoops, write me a program, and this and this, so and so. But manager will give you a puzzle, and you have to analyze it and give proper solution.
Yeah, right. Okay. So I hope it's clear, guys. Let's move to the next question. How can one prepare effectively for coding rounds? So that is one major question which we are getting nowadays because basically IT companies are majorly focused on like assessing the students through coding rounds. So we have to build a strong developer mindset, as you said, and then likewise we have to have good coding background. So if you can tell about like placement specific coding rounds, how we have to prepare them.
Okay. See, before you start coding, you have to grab a language. Okay. For myself, I like Python, so I did all the development, all the learnings in Python. Okay. I know Himanshu, you develop in Java, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you have to first learn a language. Then, if you are comfortable in that language, try to solve problems which are available online in that language. Okay, so what I suggest is go on HackerRank, go on Geeks for Geeks. They have absolute uh, best for beginners questions there, and they can also help you you to do analyze your answers. If your solution has like the time complexities in square, so they will say that it is not possible. You should come up with a better solution. So these are the platforms you should use. If you get, it's my personal tip. I don't know if it is applicable to all, but if we want to secure our campus placements, learn Python. Okay, so why it is it? Because Python is like very dynamic language, right? And it's just like English. If you know English, you can write in Python. So that's my understanding of it, because I have to write a loop. So I'll just say for I in range this and do this, just simple thing. But in Java, in the other case, I know there are some differences, but you know the pressure there at the coding round or all this. You can, if you come up with logic, it's good, but if you want to write the code, you have to convert that logic into the format itself, like the syntax. So Python syntax is being very, what we say, easy to learn. We can focus on that more. But if you are comfortable with any other language, it's good. So I'll suggest do HackerRank, do Geeks for Geeks. If possible, go for CodeChef. CodeChef is what can I say? It can be a passion, but it's not like that. If you do code chef, you'll get placed. It's not like that. It absolutely improves your coding abilities and thinking, but it will, what can I say? It is not guaranteed that you will get placements through CodeChef only. It's because it's higher level. It's for like competitive coding, what we say. But for campus, you need basic stuff, your basic DSA, your DBMS, CN, OS, the rest of the things.
Yeah, right. So, if we want to summarize this thing, so firstly, one should choose a certain language and he has to go along the whole path with the chosen language. Then he can start with HackerRank first because HackerRank is the like easiest platform to start with. Then, if you want to improve ourselves, enhance ourselves in this competitive coding thing, or in placements, we generally are asked coding questions which are scenario based, right? So there is some sort of questions like there is a train, it is reaching in this time, sort of, or Apple thing and all. So those type of questions we get on HackerRank and then CodeChef, right? So we can then move to CodeChef and improve ourselves in for coding rounds, right?
Correct, correct. So I'll say ki HackerRank will improve your language, and your implementation in that language will be improved by GFG or CodeChef. That's the
Yeah,
best way I can put.
yeah, that's true. Okay, fine. So now let's go to the next question. How can one prepare effectively? Okay, so this is done. What CodeChef star rating is recommended for clearing these rounds? Right. So we just now spoke about CodeChef. So I think that we can skip this part. But if Karthik, you want to add anything, any little thing about this, you can. Uh,
Yes, I guess two stars. If you can get 2 stars, even I don't have 2 stars. I'll be honest with you. Okay, I tried Code Chef and I failed drastically because I was getting demotivated because I was not able to clear the challenges. Uh, I did DSA, but at some point I did some part in Python, then I did some part in Java, and I mixed up all it, and at the end it became a blunder. So I'll say ki doing code chef is good. At least if you can get two stars, and or in the weekly challenges or monthly challenges, you can, if you could solve 3 to 4 questions, that's well and good. If you don't want to do it, it's fine.
right. So you heard him, guys. You don't have to be a five-star coder to get like place for full time. You just have to be a versatile person who can do everything a little bit better than others, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So let's move to the next question. Should one focus more on competitive coding or mastering data structures and algorithms, DSA? And here, Karthik, we can have two perspectives. One perspective will be companies who are offering one lower side of package, and then companies who are offering on higher side of package. Because I personally think that these type of packages affect the like knowledge of DSA and competitive programming.
Yes. So I'll tell you, the companies who are offering like under 10 lakhs or under 10 lakhs, so they will seek for a candidate who can what solve a problem given a scenario or given a situation he can solve. But in the above range they will have situations in which you want to they will seek a candidate that is exceptional in DSA to use this concepts in in their solution and get things done quickly and efficiently. Okay, there is a major difference between the 10 lakh companies and 20 lakh companies. As you will go through this phase, you will get to know it more because the applications of DSA in 10 lakh companies, they will only ask about what is DSA and what are the different algorithms. But the application side of it, it will be asked in the 20 LPA plus companies. Okay, so being a good coder and being a good made in DSA, it's interrelated. If you're good in DSA, absolutely you're good coder, and if you're a good coder, you can easily understand DSA. So take a step by step, learn a language first, and if you're comfortable with the language, go to DSA and the algorithms and try to understand things and go on these platforms like CodeShift and GFG to learn more about this. Practice will make you better.
Right. So that's absolutely correct, Karthik. So there is one statement or one thing which is like generally said that few people we know are like good developers. Like we can say few people have very good DSA skills, right? So there are people who are saying that what will happen by learning DSA because whole real world is like based on development. We are having Java developers, Python developers, and all. So what will happen by learning DSA? But the like reality is if one is good in DSA, then he can learn any other thing quickly. So companies are checking that ability of learning of a person if he is good in DSA. If he is good in DSA, whatever task you give, he will solve that particular problem easier in like a quicker manner than others. So do you agree with that, Karthik?
Absolutely. See, we see developmental skills are very useful in the industry, and tech companies focus on DSA. Why? Because see, if you order from Zomato, they'll have that live tracking showing you कि your order is here, picked up, and it is coming to your home. So how will you do it? Graphs, basically. So implementing graph, the knowledge of graph you are implementing here. So that's why they are asking DSA. So Zomato won't hire a person who don't know this basic DSA stuff. Okay, they'll hire someone who knows what is graph and who can implement it. That's that is basically the gist of it.
Yeah, right. That's true. Okay, so let's move to the next question. So this is again like asked by many people. What are some tips for preparing for aptitude tests? What are some recommended resources? So Karthik, if you can.
Yes. More I have seen aptitude test in most of the like mass recruitment companies and some companies that are not mass recruitment, but they offer a similar package of 5 to 6 LPA. So aptitude tests are nothing but your maths, 10th maths. If you can do it quickly, it will help you. Okay, so let me. Uh, okay, so resources you can have online. Like there is one page in GFG. Also, you can have some different resources. What is in aptitude? It's basically your LCM, HCF, the time ratio, the trigonometry, the clocks, and all. That's the basic stuff that the most of the placement cell will the campus placement will ask you about. Okay, so the thing is you have to so being what we say easy, relatively easy topic, they are expecting that you do it quickly. There was one company who had a aptitude test in as their first round, and they wanted to test how fastly you can answer this question, whether it may be incorrect, one or two questions, but how fastly can you answer the correct question. So in that round, I guess three departments participated, three or two departments participated, and only 20 or so got selected for the next round, which was a technical round. So there are some scenarios in which you will get this aptitude rounds. Just basic maths, your clearer basic 10th concepts, and you are good to go.
Yeah, right. So as you told about only 20 or 22 students like getting selected for next rounds. So one major thing which is actually happening personally, I think that we have maths in engineering from M1 to M4, and then for next couple of semesters or 3 or 4 semesters, we are not even touching maths. So those who are giving gate, they are of course in contact with that, but we are like our practice of doing fast calculations, which we did back in JEE and CET, it goes like it declines, we can say. So there are people who actually need to improve their aptitude. They need to start preparing for aptitude a couple of months before. So that is one important thing, right? So let's move to the next question. Is it more important to have strong development skills or excellent coding abilities for securing placements? So we still just now spoke about it, but Karthik, if you want to add anything.
I'll add some points.
Yeah.
So coding is one part. It will get you till some extent, but your excellent developmental skill will shoot you to the stars. Okay, so if you can develop good solutions, what is happening in the industry is, uh, see, I'll tell you the scenario in my office. Okay, um, we are a bunch of people who got freshly hired. Okay, and we are being interviewed by inside the company itself. We are being interviewed by many managers, right? And they represent the project they are working on. They see if this particular candidate can solve this problem or develop this problem efficiently in the given amount of time. So they'll, if you can think it, you can code it, but it's not the other way around. If you can code, you can think it. No, if you can think the solution, if you come up with like, okay, if you can, so what I did, I told him verbally, see, first we'll take this value and apply the business logic, and then we'll join in this table, and we'll have the final results. So he said, okay. So and then I added, should I code it? So no, no, he said no, it's good. I know you understand this stuff. So this is the what we can say. Uh, um, a different skill to have. Okay, if you think about the solution, you can if you can develop the solution, you can absolutely code it because you know there are generative AI like ChatGPT. If you can prompt the correct question, it will give you the correct answer. So use these tools as much as possible, not in the different way like ChatGPT Bard. You can it will help you in coding. It will not make you good in coding. That's the difference you have to understand.
Yeah, so like there is one line which I can add regarding the AI thing which we spoke about. So it is said that like nowadays the person who is using AI will actually get replaced, but the person who has developer mindset and he is using AI, he will not ever get replaced in companies, right?
Correct, correct.
So
So see, AI will not think on your behalf. You have to think and come up with a solution, the logic, and you have to tell. So you will tell the ChatGPT. So this is see this so and so is my logic. Please give me a code in Python. It will give, so it will not give correct solution in one go. You have to what reiterate over that. So no, you did this wrongly. I want this and this implemented. So it will so based on your logic and your knowledge, it will give the output. It's not like that AI has everything in it. So it comes down to you, a good developer mindset.
yeah, right. All right, so that's pretty good. Let's move to the next question, which is again very popular and famous one. How can one maintain consistency in in their preparation for placements? And overall, also, we can say consistency in coding because we know that we require a lot of consistency if we have to excel ourselves in the we can say DSA thing and all that stuff. So you can add about that.
Yes. So I'll always say this key: discipline over motivation. Okay. Follow discipline over motivation. What does that mean? Okay. So I'm getting, so take an example. I'm getting a call from a friend and he's saying, bro, you know what? I'm going to the so and so university in outside India, and I'm very happy about it. So I'm like, okay, that's good. It has motivated me. I'll also go. So what happens is like this motivation for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, it will fade down. But discipline, it will get it is what it will get you far enough. So to um, have consistency in your what we say preparation, make some rules. Okay, it might sound childish, but make some rules. So okay, I'll go home, I'll do this, I'll at least do two problems from this whatever series you're referring to, DSS series. I'll do three sequel questions, I'll do two competitive questions, I'll learn this about this, I'll learn so and so about this technology, and then I'll sleep. Okay, if you continue this for long enough, you will definitely are above average of all of the all of the competitors there. But you are doing 10 problems in 1 day and taking rest for 5 to 10 days. It's not like that. It will fade away. So consistency is the key. Always do little. Set daily goals. Don't set weekly goals. Don't set monthly goals. Set daily goals. I want this day I'm to do this and so and so. Then only I'll do rest of my stuff. So it I also follow this in my office. So I'm getting a task. So my manager says that I need to get this thing done. Okay, so I'll write those down. And if I have any doubt, I'll ask him. This is what you said I want to do. So no, if it is wrong, I have written it wrong. So he'll correct me there and there itself. Ki, no, this is no, you have to do it the other way around. So okay, I'll have this. So verbally, I'm writing it on my diary, and then every day I'll have the diary here, and I'll see. Okay, I've done this task. I'll cross that. The satisfaction of crossing any task that
Yeah.
I've done today, that the daily goals. That's what gets you the motivation for going long enough. Okay, so follow this, and you will definitely get a good placement in campus.
Yeah, right. So as you mentioned about that diary thing, which I personally also follow for motivation, not motivation, we can say discipline. So one example I'll give that I had the website which we launched actually, which DevCruise had launched. So it's built using React.js and we have Node.js and MySQL in backend. So it took pretty long enough, around 3 to 4 months. Like firstly planning all the things. Like there is one concept of system design you must know for the
Yes, yes,
newbie people. So system design is where we are architecturing the whole web app or whole application as a whole. So we are like planning from where that how will data flow and how in this particular scenario how will users log in and have all the data stored and all. So architecturing all that thing and then implementing that into the backend and then having built the front end all. So that sort of thing actually took pretty long time. So what I used to do when I started with the development of my website, I like had one diary. So daily I wrote today's date and I just have the checkboxes and I wrote that what I have to do, just implement JWT token and all that sort of stuff. And then I go on ticking what I have what I have completed, and now the diary is almost 50 pages full. So it's not just logs, we can say. It's not just logs. I also wrote down some ideas which I have, which I can refer later in future. And now I felt, now actually I feel so satisfying. Oh man, I've gone so like far ahead in this particular thing, right? So I have been following this diary thing since long. And there is one more thing that I would like to add that I've been journaling also. So I've been journaling from 2021. So I literally have written all what I've like in short 2 to 3 lines, daily stuffs that so for example, now I'm in office. So like we had a party today and all that stuff. So I have that sort of journaling done. So when I look back into 2021, 22 times, so I get like, oh man, we have come a far away. Like, right. So, right. So that's a lot of talking and all. So
exactly.
let's
So
move.
the one page won't matter, but that one page for the next coming moment that will matter. It will come up as a
Yeah.
whole thing. Right? बूंद बूंद से सागर बनता है. So
Right.
that's
When we will look into that, like around 4 to 50 years, if we can say, then we will remember, oh man, जब मैं इतना था, so I was doing that thing on that day, so that will be what will be memorable,
yes, yes,
right?
absolutely.
Okay, so let's move to the next question. What type of work do you do at Infocepts as a cloud and data engineer?
Okay, okay, okay. See, uh, in my company, as I can say, my company is very dynamic. Okay, you can be a web developer, you can be a ETL engineer, full form for ETL, extract, transform, and load. Those who are coming from BI, ML, or data mining would know what does ETL mean. Some would be the Power App users, such as Tableau, MicroStrategy, Power BI. Okay, so these are the technologies what we work on. Okay, so I'll get to the point where it matters as a developer. Okay, so I believe most of them are from the CS background, I guess,
Yeah,
CSIT.
yeah, right.
Okay, see, for CSIT people, I'll recommend if you join my company, have good coding skills. Okay, so having good coding skills will put you under a domain called cloud and data engineering. So cloud and data engineering is a domain in which there are multiple technologies that are being worked on. So for my case, it is I work on Python, I work on AWS, I work on a technology called Apache Spark, which is a big data technology. I work on Hadoop, if you know big data stuff. Okay, so my work is related to big data and AWS side. So my big data is on cloud, so it makes me a cloud and data engineer. So I know big data as well, and I know how this big data works on cloud as well. So this is the gist of that. Okay, and if so it specific to my project, so if you move to a different project you'll have different set of technologies. So the cloud thing which we have here right now, it's very in what we can say boom. Okay, so our databases, we have heard of different databases like MySQL, SQL Server, IBM's DB2. Okay, have you heard about Snowflake? Anyone here?
Guys, you can raise your hand if anyone has heard
If you
about
can,
Snowflake.
Snowflake,
We are
anyone
not
has
going to ask any questions. We are just
yeah.
wondering how much you know.
Okay. So, see, nobody knows because this knowledge is only industry specific. And I want to tell you about Snowflake. Okay. I just 2 to 3 points. Snowflake is a database on cloud. Okay. You can have, so Snowflake has an architecture which front end is Snowflake, which is Snowflake UI, and the back of it hires or its compute power from either of the three clouds which are available, that is AWS, Google, or Azure. Okay, so all your data is on cloud, and this can be accessed from anywhere else, anywhere using login and all. It's a good technology to use, and it's currently in very demand. If you can know search about Snowflake, you must definitely learn about it. Second is Airflow. So Airflow is also very highly used in this data engineering side, or the side which we can call as ETL side. Learn about it. If you have any doubt, you can take my number from Himanshu. I'll guide you through how to work this stuff around. Okay. So as I work in a, let me say, I work in a retail domain, retail and apparel. So I work for a very big fashion company, and though it's my client. Okay. So what I do is, my data comes from a certain site. Okay. In XML format, I have to take that data, some GBs of data, some GB, like what can I say? A file is of GB. Okay, some 15, 16 GB file. It comes to us. We process the data. We take the required columns, add business logic to it, and push it to somewhere else. So this is my daily role, and this is all been orchestrated, and everything is monitored by Airflow. So just to very high, what we can say, jargons I'm throwing at you, but when you get into industry you'll get to know, or if you want a certain session on these topics, I'll definitely provide help to you.
All right, so that sounds pretty interesting actually. Apache Spark and all, it's all streaming stuff. We can say it is also used for streaming. So big
Yes.
tech companies like Netflix and all, they are working the whole backend and architecture is working on Apache Spark, Flink and all. So that is
mm,
pretty amazing stuff.
Kafka as
You
well.
guys, yeah, Kafka as
Kafka
well.
is also very big. Yep.
So you guys can explore about that. It is actually good stuff. Okay, so let's move to the next question. So Infocepts actually came in like last year they came on for on-campus hiring. So how to prepare for Infocepts on-campus hiring? What type of rounds do they conduct?
Okay. So I'll ask one question first. How many of you know SQL? Like they can they they are like if you throw any question at me, I'll solve it. Okay, how many of are there?
Yes, anyone, if you can give a thumbs up or raise a hand. If you know about structured query language, anyone? Okay, I think they are scared. As you said, you
See,
will
okay,
throw a question.
okay. See. See, the thing is key, many people don't. So, as you have discussed on from this all this question you have seen, key most of the question are from DSS side, competitive coding, how to do this, how to do that, but they are not looking at the heart from which their application will run, the data, and how to talk to data. It's SQL. So if you're good in SQL, you can develop your website. Let's say your website, your data engineering pipelines, your application. Okay, so the knowledge of SQL is very important. I'll highly recommend you go to HackerRank, go to the SQL learning site and solve all the 58, I believe 58 questions. I have 55 of them solved, so go there, solve all the questions, give its test, HackerRank beginner, SQL beginner, SQL intermediate, and SQL expert, I believe. Those are the three certifications. Do it, and any company will hire you because having the knowledge of DBMS and the SQL is very important. So what I have seen is like college now, college has the syllabus of DBMS also. Also, we had it. Okay, so they focus more on the administrative side, and it is not really that much required. Okay, knowledge of it, having the knowledge of it is good, but actually implementing SQL, that was very less in also in the labs, and everyone knows this reality. Okay, so consider this: given any project, they'll have only one DBA engineer or only one DBA who will manage the database, give access to other users, but there will be three to four or five, six, depending on projects, the users that will interact with the database. So we have to target that thing. Key, I know SQL, I can write this query. You, I'm sure these guys here, like they are from third year or fourth year, they don't have any idea what can you achieve from SQL. Let me be clear. So it's a very good thing to have, and you actually they'll appreciate, the campus recruiter will appreciate if you have good skills. For Infocepts, I'll tell you, they asked us to design a database schema for a vendor. For my round, I'll say specifically. He said, um, draw me a schema for a retail owner, a retail sabji wala, So he wants to switch his business to online, and he will take it through app. And now he has to maintain his inventory, his sales, and all the profits and all the other things. Just design a schema for it. So this type of questions are asked by Infocept because Infocept is a data and AI company. Okay, so we provide business solutions through data and generative AI. That's our main goal. Okay, so Infocepts, when it comes to your campus for campus placements, it will ask you for your SQL. That's the main thing. SQL and Python or any other language, Python or any other Java, any other language works. But SQL is important. Okay, then your behavioral skills, those matter to Infoset because if you are ready to give it, we'll definitely hire you. That's their attitude. Okay, also aptitude, good. Like if you can solve basic math problem, basic statistics. So as data, machine learning, AI, it's all statistics. Okay, on based on that statistic results we predict the things, so they focus more on statistics. So their paper will have two to three questions of statistics and behavior and SQL. That will be the first round. On the basis of that, they'll be shortlisting you, and the second round will be technical will be like what is OS, what is CN, what is DBMS, uh, what have you done in your like college times. It's not pretty technology heavy, I'll say. It's just basic stuff to get you know more, like if you're sound in your technical knowledge. Then comes the manager round, and in manager round it's a tough one compared to other manager rounds, I'll say, because they'll give you puzzles, they'll give you questions that you have to ask, sorry, solve. It may be SQL question, it may be Python questions. So like if you tell ki I have designed so and so program, so I will I'll give my example. I've said that I've designed this and then solution. So the manager said, okay, so write me this part of this logic. If even if it is in English, it no worry. Just show me that you can do it. So I did it, and he said, okay, cool. And then the rest is history. Okay. So now, even now, that manager is in contact with me whenever we go there. He says hi. He's very cool. You'll be surprised to know he's YCC pass out. So
Okay.
so me and Atharva, I guess here we have also have Atharva in the meet. So he's like one of our best what we say can best manager buddy to talk with and hang out with. Okay, so this is the thing what Infocepts did. Rest I gave 5 interviews, so I only have that much knowledge of rest. I don't know because also I'll recommend you to get placed early as soon as
Hmm.
possible. Uh, in the month of August, September, just that target to get placed in any company, because after that you will have to manage both things, either your recruitments and your semester papers. So that management is very difficult. If you know, you know. Himanshu must have gone through that phase.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So try to get place early, prepare yourself well. Just this is the right time to start because I guess this is February, right? So your placement will start around August, July or August, and you have to. This is the high time. Just push the pedals, and you will reach your destinations.
Yeah. Right. So, you heard it, guys. So the time is going, so you have to start early. Right. So we have a couple of questions remaining. So let's have the next one. Some interview tips and tricks, how to set ourselves apart from other candidates with interview perspective.
Good communication. That is the most
Right,
underrated
right.
thing.
Yeah,
That is the most underrated thing. You will Have you ever heard about a candidate that I'm learning, I'm working on my communication skills or anything? He'll always be like, I'm working on this DSA part, I'm working on this technology. Having good communication skills can land you a job you haven't even dreamt of. I have an example from my patch. So there was so and so person. They had good communication skills, and they got placed, and we were in all awe because they knew only a few basic coding and that stuff, but having good communication, the interviewer was so impressed that okay, let's onboard you. You will learn all the stuff there. We'll help you out. Just come with us. Okay. So good communication, good confidence. One more thing I'll say ki if you learn any technology, say you have learned Python or React or Angular, do some projects. Do some projects on it. Showcase yourself. Okay, if I go with that, like, see, this is my certificate, done so and so, he'll not believe, because getting certificate is as easy as drinking water these days. Okay, anyone can get certificates. We all know, but if you implement that knowledge into some project, mini projects, they'll and host it on GitHub. So make your GitHub repo beautiful. Add that GitHub link in your resume. It will make a difference, uh, and take it in writing. It will make a difference when you showcase your projects, you showcase your knowledge, what have you done, and what challenges you faced, and then what came up with that solution. So there's a trick. So suppose you have developed the solution. Okay, so don't tell directly that okay, I have developed a solution and I have used this technologies, so and so, blah blah blah. He'll be bored. Okay, first, start with the problem statement. Why did this solution came to be? Okay, what was the problem? So first explain the problem, try then tell him that you tried different approaches. I came up with this approach, I came up with that approach. I was almost there, but then again I backed out. Okay, so then he will see that you have the developer mindset thing. Okay, he'll see that you are hardworking. No, you are learning it, actually doing it, and saying that you have done it. It's a different thing.
Hmm.
Okay, so you have to tell this thing, and also tell that key. Okay, now I've developed this solution and I'm working on some optimization. So these are the some points that you need to take care while telling what your projects during interview. Okay.
All right, so that was like good. Okay, so there is just one last question. So, any other tips you would like to share about placement? So, if you have any your tips and tricks remaining in your bag or relating to getting placed in good companies, and also you can share those. So that is what actually matters.
I think I've emptied my bag pretty much here.
Okay.
So
Yeah, actually,
like I'll just summarize it. Okay.
sure.
Main thing is good basics in your technical skills. Okay, so either you are from CS or IT, having your basic core knowledge is important. Do not forget your SQL. Okay, that's star bucket. Okay, second thing, your technical skills. You're learning any language, so learn that language first, then implement it. Third thing, good communication, do good confidence, and fourth is showcase your knowledge in the form of projects or things you have done for, let's say, any internship you have done or any project you have done in that way, and your make your also resume. That's a very important thing. Okay, so while creating a resume, don't go with the fancy template that there is photo and there is black background and you have written this, I've done this and this and this, and here are many section tables here. Okay, and the interview will just look it for 30 second. I'm saying 30 second. That is also max. Okay, they'll not look in what you have done. So have your resume specific. Okay, one-liners in bold, the project and what have you done, what technologies you have done from what to what time. So build your resume good. Don't make it too much fancy. It should be minimal, readable. Also, I have noticed that if you use those template where there are different sections, and some of the companies will ask you for your resume because of resume screening, and this in this resume screening tools, it doesn't the resume doesn't get scanned properly, so your resume is instantly rejected. Okay, so make it more legible, more simple, so that these tools and even the interviewer can understand it. So these are my tips for securing a good placement. Any other questions, please?
All right, guys. So if you have any questions, we can have those now. And Karthik, it was pretty good actually having you on this podcast, and your valuable insights were very good actually. So it will help a lot of people, and we are going to upload a recording of this particular thing on YouTube as well. So this will be recorded and memorable forever, right?
Okay.
So if you
Thanks for
guys have
inviting
any
me.
questions, yeah,
Yeah.
right. So if you guys have any questions, you can drop those in the chat. And Anup has already dropped the website link. So Anup, if you can drop Karthik Dada's LinkedIn link as well, so it will be pretty much good. Then other people can connect with him. All right. Okay. So I think there is one query. How many projects should I make?
Yes,
Okay.
Jay.
So that is actually pretty common question which students ask a
Okay.
lot.
How many projects should you make? Yes. The answer is yes. Okay. So, so there is no limit to project. Depends on the scale on what you are trying to achieve in that project. Suppose there are multiple aspects so that in that project. So the one project is good enough for that. but you are covering very small requirements. So multiple projects are good for that. So it depends on the scale on what you're working. If you're building a heavy application, so even one project, one or two projects would work. But if you're specific for that, what we say requirement, then you can have multiple projects. Like I guess three to four projects is well and good, well and good. For for JavaScript. Dude, what can I tell? I don't know much about JavaScript. I wanted to know, but one of my friend uh, is working on JavaScript and Java side in Amadeus Labs. So they work there on extension part. So you see the Google Chrome browser has extensions. So they were making extensions for that. Uh, Rest JavaScript will be useful for your web development, of course. Uh, you can use it. What are the projects? What are the projects we have to acknowledge to acquire a placement? Okay, so a project, from my understanding, a project should consist of a good front end. If you are talking about web, okay, front end and a good back end. Not only the your static website, it should be a dynamic website with database connectivity. This is the minimum requirement, and rest is your business logic. Okay, so if you can add these three things in your project, it's good. Make anything. Okay, either be a Java app or sorry, Java, I mean Android app or a web app or any other applications you want to make. So have it on full scale, full stack, front end, back end, and database. This should all be covered in this. Hello, guys. Okay, thanks. Sir. Okay. Any other questions? Yo,
All right.
Anup is doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anup.
Okay. So if you guys have any questions, you can ping Kartik on LinkedIn as well. Anup has dropped his LinkedIn link, and he can answer you there also. Okay. So thank you, Kartik, for joining us. So thank you so much for giving your time for us. So it's been a pretty amazing session.
Thank you for inviting me, and thanks a lot for joining. And I'm glad that I can be helpful to your to you as a resource. And please feel free to reach me on LinkedIn. And it's been a great time. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.